Never learn openings if your rating is below 500. In this video, I'll show you exactly what you need to do if you're below 500 and you want to improve. It's much easier than you think. I'll also show you some games of how I beat my 500 rated viewers. I'm a 2500 rated chess.com streamer. I stream on Twitch, I review all my viewers' games, I try to help them, and I also host some fun chess.com tournaments. So if you're interested, the link to my Twitch streams is in the description. Without further ado, let's get started with this video. So this is the first game that we're gonna look at. But before we do that, let me tell you what exactly you need to do. So for improving, like I said, I don't recommend learning openings to anybody, even if you're below 1000. Simply because when you're at 500 level or below, that time you're blundering your pieces, and that's the main reason why you lose. You don't lose because you get slightly bad position out of the opening. You lose because you blunder your pieces. So as long as you cannot blunder your pieces and see your opponent's blunders, that's when you can start winning a lot of games. So for improving, I only recommend to do puzzles. Do a lot of puzzles. You can also analyze your games, that never hurts. But focus mainly on doing puzzles and improving your vision of the board. And follow some key principles. For example, look for checks and captures every single move. When you improve your rating, your vision becomes good, and you don't have to do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. I don't look for captures, checks, and stuff like that. But when you're a beginner and you can't feel the board, then you can just brute force it basically. Look for all captures and checks to see if there's anything dangerous. And try to always ask yourself what move is good. Like I went here, is this move good? It is good because I centralize my pawn. I try to get the center. I move here, is this good? It's good because I develop my knight, I centralize my knight. So try to justify your moves basically. Let's start with this game. So I'm with the white pieces. I'm playing against my 500 rated viewer. The game starts with d4. He went d5. So far so good. Bishop f4, knight c6. Now, knight c6 is a bit inaccurate in terms of the opening, but it's totally okay if you play a move like this. You get your knight developed, you get it to the center, it's totally fine. You don't have to play super accurate the opening, like I said. So knight c6 is probably inaccuracy, but it's totally fine. You can afford to play a lot of inaccuracies and still have a great game at this level. I went e3, bishop f5 again. I love it, he's getting his pieces out, and this is when I would say it's already very bad. Because you can't improvise if you're 500, alright? f6 can be a good move. Maybe I want to try something crazy, right? Maybe I want to improvise something if I'm a strong player. But if you're a 500, you can't do something this early on. You're blocking your knight, you're making it more hard for you to play. Instead, what you should have done is you should have gotten your knight out, simply develop your pieces, centralize your pieces. That's just simply how you play it, alright? Doing this is already very sus. It's a mistake. The eval bar goes up, but even if it wasn't, I would not recommend to play this. It's gonna be harder for you to continue on this. And even in this position, you can't really do this. If you go e5, you're gonna lose that pawn. I have too much pressure on that square. So I went bishop d3, and I immediately try to punish f6, because that weakens the light squares. So I'm trying to gain all these light squares. He goes for knight b4, and this is the second big mistake in a row. This is even bigger than the previous move, because if you followed the main principles that I taught you at the start, you would never play knight b4. Now there is queen b5 check. If you looked for checks, you would immediately see that I'm hitting the knight and the king at the same time. And that's exactly what I did. So this is already a mistake. Again, you're not following the principles. You're not getting your pieces out, you're not centralizing them. You're attacking my queen right from the opening and doing some random f6. So that's why black is getting punished. Now, you may be thinking there is knight c6, and there is. That does save the knight, but then I'll do queen b7. I'll hit this knight, I'll hit this pawn, so it's still terrible, alright? But my opponent did not even see this, so I went c6. Queen b4, you already see, right? A lot of blunders, and it's only move 8. So if you can do puzzles, if you can get rid of these blunders, if you can play more careful and follow the principles, then I guarantee you're reaching above 500 won't be that hard. He goes e5, which I really love. It's very impressive that he saw this, he hits the bishop and the queen at the same time. I took on b7, he took the bishop, again great. I do get 2 pawns for that piece, but at least he managed to get his piece back and only lost 2 pawns. Now this is another critical point, because as you can see I gave a check. And it's very natural to block the check instead of moving the king. But if you do look for all captures, you don't have to visually see this move, that you're blundering your rook. Look for all captures, even moves like this. Maybe there's a crazy sacrifice. Look for all captures individually, and then you would see if I go queen d7, I blunder my rook. And that's exactly what I did. So when you saw that queen d7 blunders the rook, what you do? Well, you just move your king, which would be the best move in this position. It's much better than queen d7. But he went for this, now he blundered his rook. Like, you can already see who followed the main rules, right? I'm getting my pieces out. I'm playing a smart game. When my opponent has all of his pieces underdeveloped, the king gets to the center. It's a terrible position for black. Black made crazy amount of blunders already, and it's only move 12. So it's obviously not good. He takes on e3, I take. I mean, I don't think there's much to do in this game anymore. Another point is here. If you looked for checks, you would see this, that I'm forking your queen and the king, and you would just block the check instead to not lose your queen. But black ended up losing the queen, and after which I got a very easy early checkmate in the middle of the board. So again, why did black lose this? Because black did not follow those important principles. You may be saying that I'm a 2100, he's a 500, and I totally get that. He should lose, but he should not lose like this. Maybe he can get to an equal endgame, I can outplay him. Sometimes he can blunder a crazy tactic and lose in that way. So if he loses in a good way, that's already very great, because our rating difference is very big. But when he loses in only 20 moves, has no pieces left, I have almost all my pieces still on the board and checkmated in the middle of the board. Now this is obviously not how you should lose the game. Now let's have a look at the second game. Since we already looked at the game where the 500 played a bad game, now let's look at the game where the 500 played a good game and still lost. The game starts again with d4, d5, basically the same opening, but this time black is more smart, you know, black goes for knight f6, no f6 action, so the start is already very promising. Now the evaluation bar is still the same, it's plus 0.8 with f6 or knight f6, but again, do knight f6, don't do f6. I went knight e5, he takes. Okay, about taking, it's good. Taking here is good. But I wouldn't really recommend it because it gets tricky here. Like, if you move your knight here, maybe I can take this pawn. If you move your knight here, your knight is getting to the edge of the board. So it's a bit tricky here because you have to find the move knight e4. So it's like you're making a problem for yourself. Now you have to decide where you want to go. That's why I would also say don't be too obsessed with captures. Instead of taking here, maybe you could have just continued developing your pieces and ignore this. Right? You can even just go bishop d7 to feel safe. I take, you take. If you don't want to take with the pawn. But taking is okay. It's a good move. I would just say don't be too obsessed with taking pieces because that can be a problem at this level as well. I take. Now again, like I said, you have to be careful there. And he went for knight g4, which is a bad move. I went for bishop d3, he goes e6. e6 is okay, at least you see that the bishop is hanging, you try to protect it. I went for h3, knight h6, and now it's getting a bit tricky, because I managed to destroy all your pawn structure. If I'm being honest with you, I would say the 500 is still doing a good job so far, because they are blundering very tough things. They are not blundering a simple capture, which is most of the time what they blunder. In this game, they are not blundering anything. I'm just like trying to positionally win by weakening the pawns, right? That's what I'm doing here. So you could have been more careful, not move the knight to g4. That was the main mistake why this happens, right? I got to make your knight go here, take it, and then take here, and now the pawns are very bad. I went for knight c3, bishop b4, queen d4. So far black is fine. I won't say anything bad about bishop b4. It is a bad move, but it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that. It's a very good move. We got c5, queen d3, d4. Now this is where you could have been a little bit more smart about it. I get that it's a bit exciting because there is a pin and you want to win the knight. So I would say again, it's good that he did this. I would say for a 500, it's good to see this. But if you did follow the main principle, which is to look for checks, you would immediately see that I can give a check and pick up your bishop, right? So that's exactly what I did. I went for queen b5, and this is another mistake. Again, look for checks. I take here with a check. So instead do queen d7, so I won't take here with a check, and you can pick up my knight, right? There are these small things. I think you can try to teach yourself to fight against those small things as well if you're 500. So when king f8, I took with check, king g7, I castled along. Now he played a good game, alright? I'm not gonna say he played a bad game here. He even sees a move like queen g5 to get out of the pin and take here. So he really does play a good game. Goes a5 for some reason without taking the free knight, but still, for a 500 he definitely played a good game. I mean, he literally is going to an end game with me, right? So it's definitely very successful. This is another moment where I could have been more careful. Like, I went here. What changes in this position? There are two things that can be changing. I'm either trying to do something with this pawn, but you can quickly realize that that's not true. And the other thing that changed is this diagonal is now open. So if you think about what changes after this move, you can quickly realize that I'm trying to win your queen and not allow it. But he did allow it. I won his queen and I ended up winning this game. I don't think there's anything else we need to look for here. I got a beautiful checkmate at the end. But again, this is an example of a good game. This is an example of the game that you should try to play as a 500. And the previous game was an example of a game that you should not have played as a 500. To wrap this video up, I recommend you to do puzzles. Spam a lot of puzzles. Maybe try to review your games. Reaching 500 is not going to be that hard. You don't need to put hours of efforts to do it. It's actually much easier than you think. Just be smart about it. Follow all the principle. Look for checks. Look for captures. Try to justify all your moves. And that's it. That's literally all you need to do. Don't be too obsessed with crazy openings, with crazy ideas. It's just very simple. And I also recommend you to join my Twitch streams because I do host really fun arenas and I review my viewers' game. I always give them tips. I try to help them, so it'll definitely be beneficial for you. The link is in the description. If you liked the video, you can subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see more videos like this. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it and see you in the next one.